Everyone's doing well and having a nice weekend. Today's video, a movie that I just saw on DVD and show off collectibles that I've added to my horror center.
Character of Daffy
is the collection 10th anniversary Freddy vs. Jason T-shirt. I went to the Image Expo.
It's called the Miss Misery Horror Convention.
Nightmare Before original television soundtrack of one of my favorite films of all time.
So that's what this video is about today.
Everybody enjoys this video, and please stay tuned. Hey everyone, it's Boogeyman Ben. Hope everyone's doing well and everyone had a nice day. This is going to be another episode in my underrated horror film series. Today's movie that I'm going to be focusing on is a vampire film. This was, in my opinion, the last great vampire movie to come out right before the Twilight series kind of took vampire movies into a different direction. The movie I'm talking about is 30 Days of Night. So what I'm going to do is give a little bit of history on this with regards to plot, how the story and premise originated, as well as characters and direction, and also talk about my thoughts on the film and why I think it's so underrated. And I hope everyone enjoys this video, and please stay tuned. So 30 Days of Night would be released on October 19th of 2007. It was directed by David Slade. The plot of the film revolves around an Alaskan town called Barrow that is plunged into darkness for a month, and once that happens, it's attacked by a bloodthirsty gang of vampires. The cast in the film are Josh Hartnett as Evan Olsen, Melissa George as Stella Olsen, you have Danny Houston as Marlowe, Ben Foster as the Stranger, Mark Boone Jr. as Brower, Mark Rendell as Jake Olsen, and Mao Bennett as Billy Kitka. This is based on a famous comic book series of the same name, 30 Days of Night, which was done by Steve Niles and Ben Templesmith. Steve Niles would also write the screenplay along with Stuart Beattie and Brian Nelson. These are some figures put out by Gentle Giant Studios of the vampires in 30 Days of Night. This is Marlowe. Danny Houston played this character in the film. There was a couple other figures, but I only got these two. So this is Marlowe, and this is one of his followers in the film. But they did a good job on these figures. Now, when 30 Days of Night first came out, I was so impressed by it the first time I saw it in the theater, and I remember seeing it. It was completely sold out. My friend Mike Dodson and I, we hadn't seen each other in a lot of time. We were childhood friends, and we actually got together, and we went to go see it, and it was sold out. It was completely sold out. We tried to go to like the 8 o'clock show, and then the next showing was like at 10:30 or something like that. And we went to see that one. It was, again, completely sold out. And this movie delivered on so many levels. Great character development, a really eerie setting, excellent direction by David Slade. And then you also had these vampires that were unlike anything I'd seen in movies before. They spoke in a different language, which wasn't something that was in the comic books. In the comic books they spoke English, and they're led by Danny Houston, who plays Marlowe. Very creepy. And the fact that Barrow is a town that for 30 days is going to be plunged into darkness, I just thought it was such an interesting premise and something so original that it surprised me that no one would have ever come up with it before Steve Niles did, that there would be this town that these vampires could just feed upon because there was no the way. This movie is very brutal. There's so many things that happen in this. I mean, you see little kids turning into vampires. There's this great shot that David Slade does when the vampires first descend on the town and just go after everybody. I mean, it's an overhead shot of the vampires just attacking everybody in the town, and it's just so well done. And before this movie, there really hadn't been any good vampire movie that they would make more vampire movies like this. That the vampires were coming back and they were going to be, savage, and this reminded me of Salem's Lot in a lot of ways, a lot more violent, of course, but, the fact that little kids were vampires and these vampires reminded me a little bit of Barlow because they had no mercy, and I thought that was really refreshing. I absolutely love this movie. I think everything about it is great. I love the brutality of it. It shows no mercy. It's got a sense of dread right from the beginning. Just the first shot of the setting of the Alaskan setting is very cold and makes you just sort of, you know, it just has this sense of dread to it. And it plays out exactly that way, and this movie pulls no punches, and I think it's one that, it surprises me for so many people that bitch about Twilight and say there's no good vampire movies. No one mentions this film. And this film is one of the best vampire movies ever made. People need to check this film out if they haven't already. If you like vampire films and you want something that's got that visceral, that visceral feel, that very kind of, you know, it's you know, these savage vampire creatures, then you need to go and check this film out, because you're doing yourself a disservice if you haven't. And that's pretty much it. That's my thoughts on 30 Days of Night. Just wanted to share them because I really don't hear a lot of people talk about this film. And please, if you guys have seen the film, let me know what you think about it. If you loved it, great. If you didn't like it, please share me. Tell me why you didn't like it. So I thank everyone for watching this, and please stay tuned for more videos, and I hope everyone has a great evening. Take it easy. Peace.